today. This science experiment is for 5th grade, and my daughter Daphne happens to be in 5th grade, so I asked her to join me today. We are actually looking at the NGSS standard 5PS1-4, which is to conduct an investigation to determine whether the mixing of two or more substances results in a new substance. So today we're going to be conducting an investigation, and we're going to ask the big question: how will we know if a chemical change or a physical change has occurred? So, do you know what a chemical change is?
No.
No? That's okay, we're going to learn today. And that's one of our learning goals, is to learn what a chemical change is. Do you know what a physical change is?
Not at all.
So great, that's one of our learning goals today too, is we're gonna learn what a chemical change is and what a physical change is and how to tell the two apart. And let's see, specifically, how will we know if a chemical change has occurred? So that's what we're gonna be looking at today. So I would like you to turn to your table partner. If we were in class, I would have everyone turn to their table partner and discuss what you think a chemical change is and what you think a physical change is. How are they different? How are they the same? So I'm going to give you a minute to go ahead and do that. Excuse me, they are changing, but they're not forming a new substance. So it still has hydrogen, it still has oxygen, it just changes how it is presenting. It's not cold anymore, it's hot, that type of thing. So that's a physical change. A chemical change is a type of change in which a new substance is formed. So, for example, burning something. Whenever you add fire to something, like lighting a candle, that is a chemical change. To extend our learning further, we are going to do a little experiment. And to do this experiment, we need the items that we have in front of us. So we each need a piece of white paper.
We got a lot of extra paper.
We need a cup of water, a couple tablespoons of baking soda, and blackberries. And then the tools we're going to use a spoon and we're going to use Q-tips. So I'm going to let you do this actually. Why don't you take 2 big spoonfuls and mix it into the water, and that's going to form a baking soda water substance.
Like I have to make it in the sink when I wash when I clean the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Baking soda is good for a lot of things. Okay, go ahead and mix that together until it looks like it's dissolved. So this is going to be really fun. We are going to get to write a secret message on our page. Now, of course, it needs to be an appropriate message. If we were in the class with the whole class, I would make sure that you don't write anything inappropriate, and if you did, then that would mean that you would get a 0 on this assignment. So we're going to stick to appropriate things. You can draw fun symbols or write something fun.
I love hands-on science experiment.
Yes, I know, they're the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at some point in this experiment, Daphne, there's going to be a change. And we're going to investigate it to see if there is a physical change or a chemical change. Before we even do it, looking at these substances, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think there's going to be a chemical change or a physical change? Just looking at these things that we have in front of us, these tools and items for our experiment, do you think there's going to be a physical change or a chemical change?
I think it's gonna be a chemical change.
Yeah, what would make you think that?
Just because baking soda is kind of like something that you mix with, and it kind of causes to have a reaction, like baking soda and vinegar. It'll explode.
Yeah, so you've experimented before with baking soda and vinegar. You know what happens when you add those together. So you're thinking maybe there's going to be some sort of a reaction with the baking soda and what else?
I'm not sure. Maybe the blackberries, but I don't know what we're doing with them.
Yeah, okay, good. So if we're in class, I would have you discuss that with your table partner, what you think these items could be, or how they could react with each other, and if they're going to produce a physical change or a chemical change. Okay, so since it's just the two of us, we're going to give this another little stir, and we're each going to take our Q-tip, and we're going to use that as our
pencil.
Our secret writing pen. Think about for a minute what you want to write, and then you're going to dip it in, and you're going to write your secret message.
Okay.
A little closer. I wrote my message on a white piece of paper.
It's kind of see-through right now.
It's see-through.
It's wet.
Yeah, because it's wet, and we're gonna give it a few minutes to dry. So I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes, and then we'll be back to finish the experiment. Okay, so timer is about to go off, which means we'll be about ready to finish up our science experiment. I want you to take your whiteboard out, which Daphne, you don't have whiteboard. There's a timer. Go ahead and take your whiteboard out, and thank you. When you see a chemical reaction, when we're about to finish our experiment, and I'll tell you what we're going to do, but when you see a chemical reaction, go ahead and write on your whiteboard and hold it up. Tell me what you think it is, if it's chemical or physical. Okay? Write a big C.
I needed a new one.
Okay, write a big C if you think a chemical, not right now, but when you see it happening, you're gonna write a big C if it's chemical and a big P if it's physical. And that's how I'm gonna know, class, that you are looking for the chemical change and you are seeing it when it happens. So when you see, it's not a race to be the first one to have your hand up, but it's me looking around to see who can spot the chemical change that's happening, or the change that's happening, and whether it's a chemical change or a physical change. So write a big P or a big C on your whiteboard and hold it up. Okay, got that? Thumbs up? Okay. So what we're gonna do next is a little bit messy, but you're gonna take a blackberry. We're actually gonna smudge the juice of the blackberry all over the words that we wrote. So go ahead and kind of use it like almost like a piece of chalk.
It's so icky.
It's so icky.
But it looks so cool.
So I'm not sure if you can see what's happening on the screen there.
It's turning darker and I can see the words.
What's happening, Daphne?
It's turning darker and I can see the words.
You can see the words. So as the juice is going on there. So remember, hold up your whiteboard if you see a change occurring and tell me what kind of change you think it is. Okay, so Daphne held up her whiteboard and she wrote a big C. Why do you think a chemical change has occurred?
Because when you rub the blackberry on, you can actually see the words.
What happened here, Daphne? Do you have a guess about what, you said chemical change, and you're absolutely right. A chemical change did happen. So what substances were reacting and what new substance was formed?
The blackberry reacted with the baking soda water.
Okay.
And it made an ink that you could see.
So it turned the blackberry juice blue, basically, because you can tell the difference. The rest of the blackberry juice that isn't reacting or creating a chemical change with the baking soda crystals is still purple, but the baking soda crystals reacted with the blackberry juice and it turned it blue. Okay, so as we finish up this lesson in class, if we had a lot more students, we would do a total participation technique called a lineup. So we're gonna form two lines, and it's just me and you. We're gonna do it right now where we're facing each other. And actually, let's hold up our work of art here, our chemical reaction paper. And you would be with someone that isn't at your table so that you could see what they wrote. And then let's try to explain to each other how this happened. Do you want to try to explain to me how this happened?
The baking soda water crystals thingy reacted with the blackberry juice. And
thanks, Daphne. Thanks for doing this experiment with me today. It was super fun, and science rocks.